Hello YouTube, this is that BMX guy, and this is kind of a update on things. So I picked up these Paul Motolite brake arms. These have a little bit of a different look to them than new ones. These have a little cutout and a hole, which is what they used to do before there wasn't a cutout. These are also lately a little bit older than what I have on this bike. This bike, the pin is kind of just a hollow pin pushed in there. I guess you can see it this way. So these are kind of older than those, but someone had 2 sets of them, NOS spares. So I'm eventually going to assemble them as I accumulate all the parts from Paul. We got O-rings, we got the actual metal bushing that's in there inside here, and we have springs. Paul's been doing paper bags, paper everything with their packaging lately, which is nice. Gotta say they are trying to be helpful to the earth instead of just plastic bags like a lot of companies do. They used to do that with everything, with the plastic bags on all their stuff, and now they're doing this recycled paper. That's a nice thing. Anyway, eventually I'll assemble those brakes, and I'm going to put them on. Well, you got the 125R here with this set, but I have the other 125R that I might get another set. Yeah. There's some other updates. Like eventually, I don't know. I'm not even sure anymore. But these are new cranks that were on here. They're the new spline drive cranks have a laser etched logo. It's kind of hard to see because I waxed them too much. But yeah, I bought another set of arms for this that are black instead of chrome, because it just looks a little bit better with black everywhere and not anything chrome. I also got a new seat. This is just another one of these Anteri seats. It's newer. It's basically the same as the other one, except it's more of a carbon fiber kind of undershell. When the other one was more of a fiberglass. That's the older one. I just wanted to get another one. That bike right there has been doing fine. It's my fixed gear bike. I know it's sacrilege to use a bike fixed gear. It's a BMX, but you know, there are people just can't stand when you're different with things. You know, I'll just keep showing my bikes like this. Ooh, I know it fucks you out, doesn't it? The assholes that have to have like the large 700 wheels for everything. You know, this bike gets me around fine. This bike gets me around too. You know, whoever decides to say, oh, you can't commute with that bike, those are the guys that can just go fuck themselves, maybe kill themselves. Because, you know what? That's what I think of people that leave fucking comments like that. Like, it's my fucking bike, okay? I bought this bike for me. It isn't for you. It's for me. It's for what I like. I like riding BMX bikes as my go-to traveler. I don't need fucking gears. I mess around with them, like with that AM. I'll put that on this bike once in a while and fuck around with it, just to go a little bit faster on the trail. But when I'm going to work and stuff, I don't want gears. I just want to get to and from it without having anything break. And you know what's so nice about these 20-inch wheels and tires? Is that I don't seem to ever get flat tires. Ever. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm using really good tires. That might make a difference. Or maybe I look where I'm going. Or the fact that when I ride anywhere, I'm not in a hurry. And I understand that I will get there eventually. I don't need to be in a race. You race around, you be in a hurry, that's when you start running over shit. So, I'd like to point out that this video is kind of a vlog and a rant. And that was my rant part. I do plan on putting the AM back on here to have a 3-speed. I mean, the 3-speed is interesting. I usually take it off after maybe one ride, but you know, I always try to get it to work. I always go back to single speed because I like having the instant engagement of my profile hubs. because the fact that, you know, these sturm reactor hubs have like a good amount of slack. But the AM here might go back on. I wanted to change its driver to a threaded track driver, which is what the hubs used to come with, kind of. It was like very similar to a freewheel threading. And you can thread a track cog on here that won't just, you know, tear the little, I don't know what you call them, flanges off the inside of the spline. There's only 3 flanges on these coaster brake cogs. You can see the grooves on the outside. That's just how many cogs are taking their weight. So eventually I will just shear the thing right off. It seems like I'm doing more to it with the coaster brake one than I am on this one, but with the coaster brake, I'm constantly going back and forth with it. So it constantly forges that tooth back and forth until eventually it's just destroyed. And I went through a few of them because of that. And I'd rather just not have to deal with the headache and just put a, you know, this driver and a track hub on there. Yeah, I made a live video of this, and I was going to make some videos on these hubs again. I wanted to redo the 5-speed hub video, and I definitely want to do a video on taking this driver and switching it with that one. But I need to get another track cog that's 332nd. They're kind of hard to find, 332nd. But the reason for the track cog also is that since the offset of my front sprocket is really far out now, it's more like a, it was originally 45 on the front and the rear, now it's like more like 50 front and rear. So I have to make it so the rear cog on that AM hub is about the same as this, where it's almost less than about 3/8 of an inch away from the dropout from the outside of the tooth of that thing. Anyway, yeah, so this is kind of like a rant and update of what's going on in the life. I keep finding projects to do. I have this pile of shit right here. I have to clean up eventually. I just haven't been wanting to. But I bought this 11-speed axle, which seems to be exactly the same width between the bearings as a normal mini SS axle, but it has a longer end on it for the longer driver. So I have this 6-speed driver that I had for a long time. And the idea is, this is the spacing. This is the outside bearing of that. These are 2 inside bearings. So that would be like sort of like this. The idea is to cut this end down and make it so that it sits right up against the bearing. This is the end spacer. It fits underneath this Shimano style cassette lock ring very easily, and you can still get the cassette lock ring tool over top of that. Anyway, this 6-speed driver is for Shimano cogs. It has to be spaced out, obviously, with a bunch of spacers. But then I can always use a mini hub on my Speed Uno Dayhan bike, because it has a wider back end. I think the back end on it is 125, 130. So when I cut this spacer down to fit in there right, it'll go from 135 to 130. Now I'll just use this cog on this nice light titanium driver and have it so I got profile hubs on the folding bike also. I just really like having Shimano compatible stuff and still use the profile stuff in the process. This 3-speed driver right here. This is a profile 3-speed driver. That's been doing fine. That's stainless steel when this actually is titanium. So this is actually lighter than even that one, and it's so much bigger. But anyway, yeah, I'll post a video update on assembling this brake. Eventually I will get to hubs and other things. Anyway, this is that BMX guy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.